Former Nationals Party leader Barnaby Joyce says he's considering his next step after announcing he will not recontest his seat at the next federal election. Barnaby Joyce represents the New South Wales regional electorate of New England and declined to comment yesterday when asked if he'd change parties.
Now, the move has prompted speculation that he may defect from the Nationals to Pauline Hanson's One Nation. The One Nation leader says that she'd welcome Mr Joyce's defection.
I think he's an effective politician. I really do. I think the public love him. I think he's got a lot to offer politics. We're on the same page. I think he's more aligned with One Nation's policies than what he is with the National Party.
Well, for more on this story, we are now joined by political scientist at the University of Sydney, Luke Mansillo. Luke, thank you so much for coming in on a Sunday morning on this news that broke yesterday. Now, Luke, Barnaby Joyce complains of being relegated to, and I'm going to quote here, the far corners of the backbench. We saw there Pauline Hanson saying that he's been shut down by the National Party. He had been a very prominent National Party member, the face of at some point too, the Deputy PM as well. How did he get to this position?
Well, he's not been able to fit very well with the rest of the coalition, which has a habit of wanting to be elected by the median Australian voter. But as it so happens, the coalition over some decades have aggregated more and more interests. So a political party is an interest aggregator. But these are more and more incoherent, these interests. So we've seen the teals peel off due to some of the tensions on the left, and now we're starting to see the tensions on the right start to peel off because of the total incoherence of the coalition.
Yeah. What do you think the, David Littleproud, the leader of national parties, hasn't commented yet on this announcement. Is this something the National Party may welcome, or is this something that they may want to change? They may perhaps provide a sweetener.
This is probably more of an existential threat to the National Party because the Nats have only so many, they're geographically located their vote. And if you start to have large portions of their vote swing off to One Nation defect, be it both in terms of actual voters and their membership and political elites, you will then start to see resources decline from the party. So for instance, if prior to the next election, if Barnaby Joyce were to become a member of One Nation, they would then become a minor party status and have more resources available to them in terms of advisor jobs, which will enable them to put in a more serious campaign. So apparently there is 50 branches that have opened up since the election. Back in 1997, there were 200 branches that were opened up in the first year of One Nation. This is a similar rate, but the difference is people don't go to branch meetings like they used to back in the late 90s.
Right.
So this is quite a fundamental shift for how the tectonic shifts of political culture have changed.
Yeah.
So if I were in Littleproud's situation, in his seat, I would not really be all that comfortable with this irritant to my side. That being said, he's a former banker and might seem a bit more establishment than the Bush accountant.
Right. I see. Okay. I want to bring our attention now to these two big political characters. We've got Barnaby Joyce, who himself is larger than life. You've got Pauline Hanson, also larger than life. Both career politicians here. If they were to come into the one umbrella, how will these two personalities work together?
Well, I think they're already working together because you wouldn't have had the announcement of the Tamworth branch being set up with all this. So let's not talk down to our viewers like they're infants. They're coordinating. This has not come of nothing, and they're slowly trying to transition the...
but it's early political days, though. Is this collaboration, do you see this collaboration being very strong and going forward?
I think it is a continuation plan for when Pauline is eventually going to retire.
Okay.
So Pauline is 71 years old, should be 73 come the next election. And the median woman in Australia lives to 82. I don't know if she really wants to be staying in Parliament until her dying days.
Right.
And for a woman who previously worked at Marsden Park Fix Shop, I don't know how well her heart is.
Right.
So
Right.
succession plans are important.
Okay. Now, Barnaby Joyce is known to be an outspoken, forthright person. He's also had some personal challenges, and that's played out quite publicly as well. It does make him quite a relatable politician. Who are his supporters? Who would vote for Barnaby Joyce?
I think there's a cultural element to which he has an affinity with a certain type of person in the country. And, take no BS sort of person, that sort of larrikin character that you might encounter in regional Australia. Now, how close that affinity remains with a leader like Littleproud, I think there's a distance for the former banker. So there is a potential for him to leverage his personality, his larger-than-life character,